What does real biblical transformation actually look like? Because I think a lot of us assumed it would feel like clarity, confidence, peace, and momentum. Like, okay, I finally got it. I know what God is saying and I am moving forward. But instead, it feels like confusion, second guessing, starting over, making mistakes, lots of them, wondering if you're even hearing God right. So, if you've ever thought, why do I still feel like this? Am I doing something wrong? Shouldn't I be further along by now? We're going to talk about that today because transformation is happening. It just might not look the way you thought it would. Do you want to step into the calling God gave you and dream big again with Him, but feel stuck, buried in doubt, and constantly pulled under by the chaos of everyday life? Hey, I'm Amy, Christian life coach, girl mom, and wilderness season survivor. I help women gain confidence in their calling through spirit-led coaching and prophetic insight, because that's what finally changed everything for me. If you're ready for the confidence to move forward so you can get unstuck, grab a pen and some paper, silence the what's for dinner mental loop, and pop in those earbuds. Let's go. Before we jump in, if your mind has been all over the place lately, overthinking, spiraling, second guessing, negative thinking, I want to help you with that. I created a free 3-day thought detox that will walk you through how to actually start shifting your thoughts in a simple, practical way. You can grab that at amywadlington.com/thought detox. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I want to start with this because I think this is where so many of us get tripped up. I used to think that transformation would feel obvious, like I would just know. I've arrived, I've grown, I've changed, yay. I thought it would look like feeling confident, hearing God clearly all the time, making decisions easily, finally getting it right. But that's not what it looked like at all. For me, it looked like questioning everything. It looked like going through seasons where I felt like I had done all the right things. I was praying, I was reading my Bible, I was trying to renew my mind, and I still felt stuck. It looked like starting over more times than I can count. It looked like wondering if I was missing God completely. And honestly, it felt like pressure more than it felt like progress, especially during that season in 2020 and 2021, losing my 15-year career, dealing with my health, financial stress, everything going on with my daughters and home life. I didn't look at that season and think, wow, I'm being transformed. I thought, what in the world is happening? And why is everything so hard? But looking back now, that's exactly where transformation was happening. Not when things felt clear, not when things felt easy, but right there in the middle of the mess. So let's look at King David for a second, because if anyone could have had a perfect transformation story, it would have been him. He was anointed king, he was chosen by God, he defeated Goliath, and yet he went right back to tending sheep after he was anointed. He had to run for his life. He made major mistakes and not small ones. So, what does that tell us? Being called doesn't eliminate struggle. Being chosen doesn't mean things suddenly make sense or that life is going to suddenly start getting easier. And being in the will of God does not mean that your life is going to feel clean and put together. So if you're sitting there thinking, I shouldn't still be struggling with this, that's actually not biblical. Now, let's look at what Paul the Apostle told Timothy in 2 Timothy, because this is where it really gets real. Timothy was really young and he was called and he had a purpose. And Paul didn't sit him down and say, hey, this is going to be amazing and easy, and you're just going to know that when God is talking to you and everything's going to be smooth sailing. He basically said, expect this to be really hard. God didn't give you a spirit of fear, but you're going to feel fear. So you're going to have to choose power, love, and a sound mind anyway. You're going to have to endure hardship. You want to stay grounded in truth even when people don't want to hear it. Keep going when it would be easier to shrink back. That's what he told him. So when you're sitting there thinking, why does this feel so hard? Paul would say, yep, that's part of it. Transformation isn't just internal, it's tested externally too. And if you look at David and you look at Timothy, what set them apart wasn't that they got everything right, it was how they responded. David kept going back to God after failure, after mistakes, after fear. Timothy was told, stay steady, stay grounded. Don't let fear shut you down. Keep going. So the question isn't, am I doing this perfectly? The question is, am I staying connected to God and trusting Him in the middle of this? Because that's transformation. Paul told Timothy to fan into the flame the gift that was in him. In other words, use it, practice it, show up. Transformation isn't something that just happens to you, it's something that you participate in. It looks like choosing truth again and again, trusting God, going to God over and over again, taking that next step and the next step and the next one. And when you don't feel ready, you take another step, even when you don't feel ready, even when you're not sure. So, this is where we're going to bring it down to real life, everyday life, because transformation is not, I will never struggle anymore. It's you catch your thoughts faster. You don't spiral as long. You go to God quicker. You recover quicker when things feel off. You make decisions without overthinking for days upon days. And physically, you start to feel safer. Your body isn't constantly in stress mode. You're not living in that constant pressure, panic, second guessing cycle all the time. And clarity becomes easier, not because everything changed overnight, but because you did. Transformation isn't dramatic, it's consistent. So I want you to ask yourself, where am I expecting perfection instead of process? And when things feel hard, am I pulling away from God or am I pressing in? Today, just take this to Him honestly. No filtering, no trying to sound spiritual when you pray, just real and raw. And if you need something practical to walk through that, go grab that thought detox because it will take you 3 days of going through this step by step. Now, transformation is not instant, clean, or perfect. It's messy, it's ongoing, and it's built in a relationship with God. So if you feel like you're failing, you might actually be right in the middle of transformation. Okay, friend, if you are tired of feeling stuck and you want clarity on what God is actually doing in your life and what your next step is, that's exactly what I help you with in my one-on-one coaching. You can go to amywadlington.com/coaching to book a session and to learn more. Until next time. That's it for today, friend. I pray that this episode blessed you or stretched you in all the right ways. If it did, would you please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts? It truly lights me up to know that this show is helping you, and your reviews help other women find the clarity that they've been praying for. All right, go clean off that pile of laundry from the treadmill or the chair or whatever piece of furniture it's currently living on, and I'll see you back here soon for another episode. Bye for now.